We'll actually do a live broadcast from the Lebanon store. Here, some of the other questions. I wanted to talk about this. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but the Lebanon store. Where's that store going to be located in Lebanon?
It's on Santiam Highway and Airport Road, right next to the Jack in the Box.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, it's centrally located for everybody. A lot of people from Sweet Home.
Right down the street from the racetrack.
Everything's going to be great. Yeah, it's literally down the street from the racetrack. So, yeah, I'm real excited to see that one go. I'll be staying here, but, you know.
Right. You run the show here.
Yeah.
A lot of questions. You guys have seen the messages coming into the Moxie Media. Some of the questions. Hey, Corey. Hey, Dom. Hey, what's it pay at the Bud Nationals? Night number 1 for the late models is $1,500 to win, $150 to start. The A main is 30 laps. So it's $150 to start the feature, $1,500 to win. Night number 2 is $3,000 to win, $300 to start, and it's a 50-lap feature. Okay?
Oh,
so for those guys that had that question, there's your answer right there. Sound must be below, and this is in big black letters, must be below 95 dB at 100 feet.
Oh, wow.
Receivers and transponders, mandatory. So if you don't have a receiver, which most of these guys do, don't forget it. Make sure you have one. Okay? Officials' decisions are final. That is, and at Bakersfield, that is a big, big statement because that is, you're not going to change their mind.
That's good.
You're not going to change their mind. Yeah. We'll get that posted up on Moxie. For the modifieds, night number 1, $1,500 to win. 30-lap A main event. Night number 2, October 14th, $1,500 to win. 40-lap feature. 2017 IMCA modified rules apply. Safety equipment required at all times, no exceptions. Huge statement.
Yeah.
We've talked about it all the time on this show. Safety equipment. 95 dBs at 100 feet. Receivers, transponders, mandatory. We'll get this stuff posted up. You got it? You going to get that posted up on Moxie? Okay. So there's your answers for especially the late model guys that were hitting us up, wanting to know what's going on. $1,500 to win, $150 to start day 1, $3,000 to win, $300 to start day 2. Okay. We do know that Cottage Grove champion, 2017 Cottage Grove champion Gray Ferrando, will be at the Budweiser Nationals. It's a race that, I've seen him there several times. He likes that track. It'll be fun to watch him down there. We know Superman's going.
It's going to be great.
Yep. Joey said he's going. I believe Jeremy Shank is going with a late model. We'll have some Oregon guys down there. Now, typically in the past, the most I've seen is 8.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping we get a bunch of guys go down. I know that Jimmy Whistler is thinking about going. He's hoping to have someone hitch a ride with them and split the cost of fuel. So if anybody wants to go down to Bud Nationals and only have to pay half the fuel, talk to him. Get your car in the hauler. It's a good way to go racing at a big show and save some money. What do we got going on here, Joel? Turn your mic up.
Helps if I turn my mic on.
Is this our call-in that
This is where our call-in.
Okay. We're going to go over the 9 o'clock hour because this is
something we need to do, though.
We do, and I'm glad to have him on because we haven't had him on for a while, and we've got a lot to talk about.
We do.
Justin Doody, are you there?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Good. How you doing, pal?
Not too bad, man. What about yourself?
Well, it's been the night started off a little hectic. Caution flag came out. We had to line the field up and restart them, but we got going.
Perfect.
It's things are rolling here pretty good now that we've got the update on the computer and all that crap. Let's talk about your summer, man. You've had a great one.
Well, let's start off with the fact that I got back yesterday and it hasn't stopped raining since I got back. I'm ready to turn around and head back out.
I don't blame you.
It's been a good summer. That's relative. We learned a lot. I think that's really our biggest thing this year. You can't expect to go race with them guys and run top 10, top 5, and compete right out of the gate. It's going to take a little while, and so I think this year was kind of what that was. I never really planned to go back there and set the world on fire. It was just to learn and get my feet wet with running with them guys week in and week out. And I think we did what we wanted to do. There were a couple things that I might have messed up on as far as maintenance throughout the week that might have cost us here and there at a race, but. Other than that, I think, we stacked up about where I thought we would. So it was a decent summer. We'll regroup this winter and be better next year.
Very cool. Now, for those listening that don't know, when you say ran with them, you ran all over the Midwest with some World of Outlaw late model series.
Yeah, we did a bunch of World Outlaw races. We did their Western Swing mainly. Well, that was a bigger chunk. Then we went and ran with them in Cedar Lake, Wisconsin at the USA Nationals, and Prairie Dirt Classic in Fairbury, Illinois, which if anybody is looking for the most awesome race to go to in the world, that is the place you need to go. It is by far the coolest racing you'll ever see. Look it up on YouTube or anything like that. Prairie Dirt Classic, #Falls. It is a badass place. And then we did the Show Me 100 in Wheatland, Missouri with the Lucas guys. We ran a Tuesday night show at I-80 with Lucas, and then Silver Dollar Nationals in Nebraska with Lucas, and then just got done with Knoxville with Lucas, and then we ran some MLRA sanctioned races, and been all over the place.
Now, let me ask you a question, because you brought up Knoxville. I just read an article online today about, I think it was Jason Fegers, talking about track prep at Knoxville and how nasty and badass fast that place is and how it's been real wet and tacky there, and it's hurting car count and it's hurting equipment. I want to kind of get your opinion on that and tell me what you think, because for those that haven't been to Knoxville, that is a big, fast place.
Yeah, I think they call it a half mile. I'd really like to get a tape measure out and measure it, because it's got to be at least 5/8. But it's a cool place. I call it my kryptonite. We can run good on smaller racetracks, and I go there and we struggle. But it's super fast all the time. This year was kind of an anomaly because it rained Thursday right before hot laps. I mean, they watered it, and I was like, oh, that's probably going to dry up, be pretty good for the feature. And then we got an hour of rain. So then what do you do? You're set at that point. So it was fast Thursday night. Friday night they got it back to where they usually have it, slicked off in the middle, and had a good bottom and a good top, and you could keep your momentum up running through the middle. And then Saturday, it's just so hard there because you don't have. So we're the only class. Late models is the only class that runs. So we had 55 late models there, and you can't make a track go from bad fast to not fast in 55, with 55 cars just hot lapping. So we lined up for our B main, and it was just extremely fast. And then you get done with that, and the track looks like it's going to be okay. And then we had a 2.5 hour rain delay before the feature started. So this weekend you couldn't win. In past years, it's been pretty good. I think that they were shooting for a drier year just by watching track prep. But I don't, they couldn't get it. I mean, I did you got 40 hours of drive time on the way home. So me and CJ were doing some math on lap times and track size. Your average speed there this weekend was 137 miles an hour.
That's fast.
Holy crap.
That's fast.
So, now, your straightaway speed's upwards of 150, 160 miles an hour.
Right.
It's pretty crazy how fast you get going around that place, especially with the technology we have in race cars today where you really don't have to lift. So it was insanely fast. You don't think you're going that fast. You kind of scratch your head when you're thinking about that average, but it's up there. You're going pretty quick.
Now, you read that article that Figures was talking about, right?
I saw it. I hadn't read the whole thing, but, I mean, I understand where he's coming from with it. It's tough. It kills car count because a lot of guys don't think they can compete. Unfortunately, I didn't have my biggest motor in for this weekend. It got delivered to the track on Saturday. I thought about changing it Saturday morning, but we were so far buried in a B main that it wasn't going to benefit me.
Now, the B main, you were in the B main. Give me some of the names that were in your B main.
Let's see. I think Bloomquist was locked into the feature, but I had Francis. I had to look at the sheet, but I mean, I started 22nd, and I'm probably to 15th or 17th. All of them in front of me do it for a living. So I lined up in the C main on Thursday night. We were garbage on Thursday night. We lined up in the C main, and on the pole was Scott Bloomquist and Don O'Neill, and then third was Tyler Erb, and fourth was Dale McDowell, and they take the top four. What are you supposed to do?
In the C main.
In the C main.
Okay, there's C main there at Knoxville. That race you go to is a world-class feature at any other track in the country.
Exactly. So it's tough to, I have a hard time racing with that a lot of the time because, you kind of get down on yourself and you think C main, that ain't good. But if you really look back at it, it isn't that bad. It's hard to, I've been going there so long, but the problem is I'll give you a perfect example of what kills me. So we've been out racing a lot this year. I raced probably 5.5, 6 weeks on the road. I came home for 4 weeks, and I traveled around and been helping Brian Thompson on his modified and stuff, and we've been having fun doing that. But I was home 4 weeks, and when I went back out there, I was feeling guilty when I was home because that's 4 weeks of, they're now ahead of me 4 weeks more than they were when I left. So it doesn't matter how long you race out there. If you leave and step away for a while and then try and get back in and be competitive at that level, you're 4 weeks behind now.
Right.
So it's hard. It's a tough deal. Technology changes and things happen so quick in this sport, but I think that's probably what makes it so cool. It's kind of expensive, but that going into it, especially at that level.
Sure.
And sanctioning bodies are doing what it's supposed to delegate spending and regulate how much money is being spent on certain areas of the race car. So, I think they're doing a good job. But like I said, man, you go away for just a couple weeks and you're behind again.
So going back there, racing with the best dirt drivers on the planet in the late model ranks and going from, the big tracks to, the little tracks and everything they do at that level, what is it going to take to get late model racing west of even Nebraska to that level out here? Do you think it'll ever happen?
It's been talked about multiple times. I've had conversations with World of Outlaw directors from the late model series multiple times about it because, sprint cars come out this way. But the problem is they pull, I don't remember the exact number, but I was there Wednesday night when they had their show. I think they had 18 or 19 cars touring, and I think we had 24 overall or something like that.
It's an A main.
Well, it's an A main. It's enough for an A main, and you're going to put on a show. But the problem is you got late model guys, and the real killer is you have 2 national touring series, which I don't think you can ever go away from that. But for late model racing, you have 2 tours that tour nationally. So now you take your field of 24 guys that are going to travel the country and race every week. Well, now you got 12 and 12. Well, you're not going to pay enough money for a purse to get those 12 guys to travel all the way out. If you had a full feature and you were guaranteed you were going to X amount of cars and the racetrack was going to make X amount of money at the back gate, then I could see it making it happen. I just don't see it happening. I would love for it to happen. I think it would be awesome. It would make my life a lot easier. I had a discussion at dinner today about what our plans were for next year, and it's tough because I want to go out and just position myself right in the center and go, okay, well, we'll just do this and this and this and this, and it'd be real easy to run World Outlaws because we're in this area. But you can't just do. I'm not just going to go by there and buy a house, and I can't do that. So
right.
You got to find your people that you can hang with, and you don't have that out here. Racing's just not as big. Everything's so much further apart, and
that is exactly what I was going to say to you. I think that's one of the big reasons that we don't see dirt track racing explode like it has in the Midwest going back east is because, number one, the tracks are so far apart and we don't have as many. Well,
and the funny thing is you say that, and I agree with that statement 100%, but there's also the part of it where it's you look, and I don't know the number, but if you look at racetracks in Illinois, or, let's say Illinois, it's the biggest late model capital of the world. So you say Illinois, and you say they have, I don't know exactly, but we're going to say roughly 50 racetracks in the state of Illinois. Probably 10 of them are UMP-sanctioned late model racetracks, which that's fine. We have 4, generously, late model racetracks in Oregon that, we can go race out on a weekend. But the problem is those 10 racetracks in Illinois work together. So on Thursday night, we got this race, and Friday night, you guys can have this race, and Saturday it's you, and then Sunday it's you, and then next week I'm going to take a week off so that Joe 3 hours away can have, they all do their thing, and it's very successful. Whereas here, we're racing 4 racetracks with the same class on a Saturday night, and that doesn't cut it.
Valid point.
And I just think it takes away from your car count, whereas they're building their car count by working together. And it's, that's just the way I see it. That's my opinion, and other people